Hello everyone. Today what I am going to work on is a watercolor tree. And again, with my watercolors, I'm going to add a little bit of ink, and I like it to be a little bit on the looser side. So in order to start the tree, I'm going to draw a line straight up, and then on this side, straight up too, and then I'm just going to let it kind of branch off like that. Okay, so I'm going to have a bigger branch over here. So I'm going to come down here, and every branch that's going to come off, I want to make it into Y's. So I'm almost making like a bubble letter Y. So then if I'm going to have one over here, I want that one to have a Y too. And then off of those, you can have smaller Y's, okay? But that's the easiest way to kind of make branches. Just have Y's off of your Y's. I'm just going to have this kind of come off the top of the page like this. And then we'll have a few more branches coming off. And they don't have to be in any particular place, of course, because trees grow differently. But you just want Y's off of the Y's. And of course, as they get further away, I'm gonna make this one just a little bit wider, further out from the actual trunk, they're going to get smaller. Okay, and you can have as many as you want, overlapping if you want them to be overlapping. Just remember to have them get smaller as they get further back. And this is just the ground line that's going to be here. So I'm going to take my Sharpie, and I don't want it to be an exact outline, just very loose. Doesn't have to be perfect. I've been adding a few extra tiny ones with the Sharpie as I get to the ends here. They're all Y's, just Y's off of Y's. And as you draw the branches, you can kind of make them come into the tree a little bit, into that main branch, if you see how I'm doing that. And some may be behind, so they all don't have to be. I'm going to make this top into a separate area up there too. Okay. I'm also just going to get a few wiggly lines in the tree with the ink. Maybe along the bottom of some of the branches. Okay. All right, now with my watercolor, I am going to wet the brown, I'm going to wet the black, I'm going to wet the purple too. All right, we're going to come in and start getting in a base. And you want to use lots of water always with your watercolors. You want to see that Sharpie kind of show underneath. If it gets too dark, remember just add water to it. I'm using a combo of the purples, the browns, and the black, which with a lot of water, of course, makes gray. Letting the colors kind of bleed together. I'm gonna switch to a smaller brush. That somebody's at my door delivering something. Adding a little bit more purple in here. And what I'm going to do is have a dark side of the tree and a lighter side of the tree. So this is going to be my darker side now that I have that base color on. I'm going to come in and get a little bit darker on the one side of the tree. That's going to help make it look round too. But you don't want to cover it all up. I'm using a little bit of thicker paint. That's going to help get a little bit darker. Of course, more water lightens up your watercolors. More paint lightens them up. And then what I'm going to do is along the bottom of the branches get a little bit darker because the light would not be hitting it on the bottom as much as it would on the top. And I am just doing a broken line. I don't want it to be perfect. Okay. Anytime there's a place on your tree might be a little bit different than mine, but if something's overlapping, like in this area, for example, or in here, along the bottom, those would be where the shadows are going to be, because the light wouldn't be hitting it as much. So I'm just coming on top with those different colors to get a little bit more texture into my tree. Dipped in the blue there, but that's okay. I like to add other colors into the tree too, just to make it a little bit more exciting, and that's the fun with painting. You can add whatever colors you want. And I'm just building up the texture and the color, getting a little bit more vibrant every layer that I put on. And everybody kind of has a little bit different style of how they like their watercolors to look. Some like them really watery, some like to add a little bit more detail into them. I think I'm kind of somewhere in between. I'm just going to get some grass down at the bottom. I'm just putting a little bit of yellow, some brown, even some purple in the ground there. Could you add anything you wanted if you want to put some flowers down in there. If you wanted to put a background, I'm going to leave the white of the background. But if you wanted to paint the sky in or however you wanted to do it. But there you go. There's a tree.